Hello everyone, I'm sorry for the noises. So this video is about a final project for Introduction to Linguistics. So here I have to answer 5 questions and this video is about the answer. But before that, let me introduce myself first. My name is Putu, Yenita, Sylvia, Agustina. So let's get started with the first questions. What is meant by arbitrary? So in terms of linguistics, arbitrary is one of human language characteristic. It is also known as arbitrariness. So human language is arbitrary means that there's no inherent connection between the sounds and the thing that it represents. For the examples like, there's no reason for a book is called a book, or a chair is called a chair, so it's completely arbitrary. I'm really sorry for the noises. Okay, that's about the first question, so let's move to the second question. What is the difference between phonemics and phonetics? So both phonetics and phonemics are branches of phonology. So phonemics here is also known as phonology. It is coextensive with phonology. So phonology is a branch of microlinguistics, which means the study of sounds. And the relations between phonetics and phonemics can be illustrated by a famous quotation by Pike and Kenneth in 1994. That is, phonetics gathers the raw materials and phonemics cooks it. So, about the difference between phonetics and phonemics, we can see in this list, which is phonetics is the study of production, transmissions, and reception of speech sounds. Or we can say that phonetics is the source where sound is produced and processed to human's ear. It reveals how sounds are made, and it's study about phones. Meanwhile, phonetics is the study of sound and sound pattern of a specific language. So it's the study of how sounds are organized and how they function in a language. Phonemics is about how we study sound in terms of patterns, rules, and forms of that sound in a particular language. Only in particular language, because certain sounds produce certain meanings. And it studies about phonemes. So up to this point, we can already find big difference between phonetics and phonemics. But for more details, here I have the subdivisions of phonemics and phonetics, where they can be subdivided into 2 levels, which are segmental and suprasegmental. Segmental is about what you say, and suprasegmental is about how you say. So I'll explain about the segmental first. So in segmental, phonetics is to define the articulatory properties of all human speech sounds. Meanwhile, phonemics is to define the function of the sounds. And now is the suprasegmental. So in suprasegmental, phonetics investigates aspects such as pitch, loudness, and length of the sounds. Meanwhile, phonemics investigates pitch, stress, and intonation of the sounds. So to conclude those explanations, we can simply put that phonetics studies the sounds we actually produce in speech, and phonemics studies the way we understand the sounds. Okay, that's about the second questions. Now let's move to the third questions. Please explain one of the word coinage process. So in English, there are lots of word coinage process such as derivation, compounding, blending, clipping, acronym, back formatting, conversion, and coinage, and etc. So here I'll explain one of the word formation process or word coinage process, which is coinage. So in this process, an entirely new term is invented. So there are typically trade names like aspirin, nylon, Vaseline, zipper, or Kleenex, So those words are trade names, and then they became actual words. So there's a particular kind of coinage which is referred to as eponym. So eponym is a noun that is based on places or someone's name. For example, like the word sandwich. So it was named after John Montagu. He is the 4th Earl of Sandwich, an 18th century English aristocrat. And the word gens, it comes from the word Genoa, which is a city in Italy. In these cases, words are come from a person or a place, but sometimes words are created by individuals. For example, like the word quark. This word was coined by a person named Murray Gell-Mann in 1964, and the word blurb, it was coined by Juliet Burgess in 1907. So some people refer to coinage as neologism, and neologism means new word. But in this case, it could be a word that has been created with any process. Okay, that's about questions number 3. Let's move to the 4th questions. What do you know about syntax? So syntax here is a branch of microlinguistics which studies about sentence structures, the structures of sentence. So every sentence has structures. For example, these two sentences: Jay saw John and John saw Jay. So these sentences are exactly the same words, but they mean two different things. The reason why we interpret these sentences as different because of the syntax of English. So syntax helps us figure out two different meanings of those sentences, even if they're the same. So syntax is a part of the grammar of every language, and it consists of the speaker's knowledge and the structures of sentence. Come back to the previous examples of sentence. Jay saw John and John saw Jay. So syntax make it possible to have two sentences with the exact same words but two different meanings. So here I have the second example. The first is, please close the window. And the second, don't open the window please. Sometimes you may actually have two sentences with two different orders that mean the exact same things. So here, syntax make it possible to have same interpretation of two different word orders. Okay, next here I have a list about the explanation of syntax. So syntax studies the structures of sentence, like what I've explained before. And the second, words are the smallest unit of study in syntax. So we know that in a sentence there are words, there are clauses, and there are phrases, and words are the smallest units. And the third, syntax studies word order and the role of words within the sentence's structure. And the last is, syntax looks at the components of the words in a sentence and their relation to each other. Okay, that's about the 4th questions. Now let's move to the last questions. Why do you think the knowledge of linguistics is important for you? So in my opinion, the knowledge of linguistics is important for me because of my future job. So I'm studying in English language department now. So as a teacher in the future, understanding linguistics helps me to convey the meaning or the origins of words and languages. And I'm sure this knowledge will certainly be very useful for me in the future. I'm really sorry for the noises. Okay, so I've explained everything. Yeah, I've explained everything, so thank you.